Hi guys, hope you're all well. Let me first apologise if you hear any background music. I'll try editing it out, but there is a few bits of background music, noise. So if you hear it, do you know what I mean? Just forewarning you. Welcome to the My Green Tea Adventure video. Now, I should start off with a little backstory. At the beginning of August, I completely cut out drinking coffee, mainly for the fact that it was making me very run down and, do you know what I mean, very ill. So I decided to switch instead of having coffee, I'd switch to green tea. So I did a little bit of research and found out which were the nicest green teas on the market. The company that I came across was Twinings Tea UK, I think. Well, it's just called Twinings Tea, I think their official name is. So this is just a little bit of a review, on the teas that I bought, because I think I bought all in total 7 different flavours of tea. So yeah, I'm just going to do a little review and a little section on each one. There is going to be a picture and a video section. If you just want to look at the pictures, they will all be on my Instagram, which will be linked below. So yeah, this is what this video is about. It's basically, me rambling about green tea. So if you, do you know what I mean, you don't want to watch it, then I'd suggest clicking off now. So the first green tea I have is just a plain green tea by Twinings. Now, I do have green tea with milk, which is why you will see 2 pictures. One is a very dark coloured one and one is a very white one. I should know that if you do add milk to green tea, I just use green tea as a replacement for normal tea, which I'm not entirely sure whether or not you're meant to be doing, but that's what I do. If you do add milk to green tea, please note that the green tea looks very strange. It appears translucent yet white. Very, very white. Because when I made it, I did get a few, what on earth is that you're drinking? So, yeah. But we'll start off with just plain green tea without milk. Plain green tea without milk is a very translucent yet brown black sort of tinge. The smell is a very strange smell. Usually I'm putting it down to the fact that I'm not used to smelling green tea, but it does smell very earthy yet, do you know what I mean, very bitter if you have it without milk. If you have it with milk, it just tastes like a normal tea. So if you're wanting to switch tea out and just be a slightly bit more healthier, do what I do and just switch out your normal tea for green tea. In all of these little cups of tea, I do have whatever tea it is with 2 spoonfuls of sugar replacement. I'm not entirely sure what I use. I think it's called Canderella something. I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce it. But there's many different ones out there on the market. You've got stevia, truvia, all these types of things. So yeah, the taste of it, if you have it without milk, is very sweet. It's very, do you know what I mean, on its own tea is very sweet anyway, but do you know what I mean, with it being green tea, it's very, the sweetness is heightened. So it's a very, do you know what I mean, if you do like your sugar, then that's probably the green tea to go for. With milk, as I said, it just tastes like a normal pot of tea, which, do you know what I mean, is very sweet on its own, but yeah, I'm aware I'm rambling. Next tea is the green apple and pear, I think it's called. Well, I'm not entirely sure if it's green, but I know it's apple and pear. It comes in a green sort of tinged box. Now this one you don't have with milk. Don't add milk because it's a flavoured tea. Trust me, having milk will make you, do you know what I mean, it isn't a good taste. But if you have it without milk, which you should be doing, all these ones that I'm saying now are all without milk, just so I don't have to say it again, because I was saying it 3 times in the space of 30 seconds. It's a very sweet tea. It has a green tinge to it when you brew it. The thing that I would say about it is there's not enough apple in it for my liking. It tastes more of a pear tea with a smidge of apple, whereas when you put apple first, when you name it apple and pear, you kind of expect the apple to taste more rather than the pear tasting the most. But that's just my opinion. It is a very sweet, but it's also a very light tea. Do you know what I mean? It's not a heavy. Do you know what I mean? You drink it and you think, God, I could go to sleep, or I could. Do you know what I mean? It's a very. I suppose you could have it. Do you know what I mean? With something to eat, but it's a very nice tea. The smell is very summertime, if that makes sense. It's very leafy and earthy, but it's very sweet at the same time. Marks out of 10. Would I give it a mark out of 10? Because it is growing to be one of my favourites, I'd probably give it a 7.5 to 8 out of 10. Mainly because it's one of them teas that you could brew at the drop of a hat and think, oh, that's a nice tea. Do you know what I mean? It's not one of them drinks of tea that you think, ugh, I must have a drink of tea. Do you know what I mean? It's, yeah, so just go buy it because it is amazing. The next one is the pomegranate one. Now, to be quite honest, I'm not a pomegranate kind of person. I bought this mainly on the recommendation of someone else. It's a very strong and powerful taste. It's, do you know what I mean? It's one of the more bitter but nicer tasting teas that Twinings offer. When you brew it, it can turn a very pink, orange, yet red colour, if that makes some sort of sense. If you let it stew more than about 2 minutes, then you're going to get a very bitter, acidy taste. But, do you know what I mean? Keep it within maybe 1-2 minutes brewing time, and it's an amazing, florally, bitter yet sweet, sort of edgy taste. Marks out of 10. I'd have to give this one an 8, mainly because of the fact that it's, do you know what I mean? It's a very bitter yet edgy taste. It's more my sort of tastes than anything else, if that makes any sort of sense. But it's a good tea. The next tea is another one of my favourites, well, growing favourites, is the orange and lotus flower. Now, when you brew it, it does have an orange tinge to it. If you leave it in a lot longer, it does become a very bright orange colour. Now, the smell, if you think chocolate orange, that's all I could put it down to. It is just, it's that sort of scent. And it does fill the room. So if you're not an orange person, I wouldn't advise getting this because it is a very fragrant smell. The taste is, oh my god, it is just so amazing. It's very sweet and delicate, but yet at the same time it packs a punch because it's a citrus flavour. So it's very, do you know what I mean? You drink it and you think, well, that's nice. And a couple of seconds later you go, orange. Do you know what I mean? It's very in your face, I suppose you could say. Mark out of 10. I'd give it, because it is growing to be one of my favourites, I'd probably give it a 7.5. Yeah, do you know what I mean? I'd suggest if you could possibly getting a little sample of it, because if you don't like oranges and you think, oh well, I'll just try it, if you buy 1 or 2 packets, then you're gonna, do you know what I mean? You're gonna think, right, well, it's a waste of money because I bought 2 packs of 40 and I don't even like the tea. So yeah, I'd advise just getting maybe a little sample of that, just in case you think, I do like orange, but I don't know if I'm going to like orange that much, because it is a very powerful orange taste. The next one I have to talk about is the pineapple and grapefruit. Now, to be quite honest, when you brew it, it is a very golden tone. It's a very yellowy but orange sort of tinge to it. The taste is very strange. I can't actually taste the grapefruit. Now, whether or not you're meant to be able to taste the grapefruit, I'm not entirely sure. It does have a very flowery, floral sort of taste to it. Not sure if that's how it's meant to taste, but it doesn't taste of that much of pineapple, excuse me. I would say that if you're planning on buying it, be careful of letting it stew for, I'd only put it in a pot and let the water stew for about 2-3 minutes. Any longer than that and it's a very bitter taste, but before that it's a very sweet taste. So I'd only advise maybe 2-3 minutes tops of, you know, letting that sit in your cup before you take the tea bag out. Marks out of 10. A 6 to a 7, mainly because I don't think I'd be able to drink cup after cup after cup of it. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them, I fancy a bit of a change, I'll have a pineapple one. The next one is the mango tea. Now this is very much similar to the pomegranate tea, except it's slightly bitterer, if that makes sense. They're, do you know what I mean? There's the same sort of tastes at pomegranate and mango. I don't know if that's just me that thinks that, but there you go. Again, I bought this one purely on recommendation, but it's turned out to be a nice tea. It's not one I could have every day over and over again. It's one of them that, you know what I mean, you put in the cupboard, you think, stuck in a little bit of a rut, I'll just change things up a bit and I'll have a mango tea rather than me plain. Do you know what I mean? The brewing colour is, it's a very bold pink red tone. It's, do you know what I mean? It's a red tone, but it's more on the pinky side than it is on the red. Wouldn't let this sit for more than 2 minutes, because otherwise you are going to get a very strong sour taste. Mangoes are sour. They're not a sweet fruit, they are a very sour fruit. Marks out of 10, again, I'd have to give an 8 because it's more my sort of sour, fruity taste than it is anything else. The last tea I have to talk about is the cherry and cinnamon. Now, this one, when you do brew it, is a very bold red tone. It's a very Taylor Swift red lipstick sort of red colour, if that makes some sort of sense. It's a very strong flavour. Now, when you I'll talk about the brewing time first. I would only put it in for maybe 2 minutes because with it being a very strong tea bag, because it is cherry, cherries are very strong and can be very bitter. You don't want to let it sit for too long, because I did, you know, make the mistake of putting it in for I think I brewed it for about 4 minutes. And bearing in mind this was my first taste of it, didn't really like it, but I'm glad I gave it a second chance and only brewed it for 2 or 3 minutes, because it is a very nice, it's a very edgy yet sour taste, but it's a very, very nice fruity tea. It is actually, I think it has a hint of cinnamon in it, because you can smell the cinnamon. When you brew it, you don't smell cherry, you smell cinnamon, which, to be quite honest, I would have put this, the others I would have put in the summer sort of category of teas. This one I'd put, do you know what I mean, it'd be nice, I don't know, about Christmas time when you start watching a film and you think, I fancy a nice hot drink. Sorry for the XX noise. I've talked about the brewing colour, brewing time, the taste I've talked about, and then my marks. My marks I would give, now bearing in mind it's still summer, so I would give it a 5. If I were drinking it through the Christmas sort of period, you know, November to January, with it being colder and my tastes changing, it'd probably be up there, probably be an 8.5, a 9. But because it's summer, because it's still summer here, and my tastes are very, do you know what I mean? At the minute they're very, I want fresh things, I want, if that makes sense. Then it's not a summer tea. I'd put it in the cupboard and maybe save it for Christmas, or do you know what I mean? That sort of period around there. But other than that, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous tea. If you love cherries, then I'd advise getting this. I have been drinking tea now for just over a month, I think it is, and I'm loving every minute of it. If you have any teas that you think I would like, I must mention that I'm not a major mint lover. It's not one of my tastes that I like, which is why I've stayed away from the mint sort of teas and more towards the fruit teas. But I have enjoyed each little tea that I've drunken. If you can recommend any teas for me to try, then I'd love to hear from you. As I said, all these teas that I bought are from Twinings. I must mention that this is not a sponsored or a promoted video, it's just me talking about the teas that I love. Go check out their website, which I'll link below, which I think is twinings.co.uk, or it's something along them lines. Check out our Twitter, which is at TwiningsTUK. I'll link that below as well. Make sure to check out all my, do you know what I mean, my social media things. And I hope that you like and share all this hope that you like and share all my videos as well as this video. And I hope you have an amazing week.
Well, now it's Luke and Saudi. Yeah, he's at it once again. Well, now it's Luke and Saudi. Yeah, he's at it once again. You know that I'm so proud to call him Bye.